If you are in your early 20s, speak English, and you're ambitious enough, tech sales is, in my opinion, the best way to reach a 200k salary per year without sacrificing your personal life and without learning how to code. So what I'm sharing today is mainly based on big tech sales, so companies like OpenAI, Google, AWS, Salesforce, Nvidia, and many more. My name is Matteo and I currently work in tech sales at AWS, and today I'll break down for you guys the exact numbers and steps that you can follow to reach a 200k salary per year. So first of all, why tech sales is a great option? Well, you don't need a master's degree. You can just start with a bachelor's degree. For big tech, that's typically enough. Second of all, compensation can grow very fast, and promotions are really merit-based because they depend on your sales results. And finally, to me, which is the most important point, is that you build a skill set that you can bring anywhere in the world because you learn how to handle and close complex sales deals, which is an invaluable skill. Now let's break down the exact steps and numbers to reach a 200k salary per year in under 4 years. So what I will provide to you guys in terms of salary numbers is a combined average between the EU salary and the US salary. So you can apply these numbers and framework pretty much everywhere. So step one, let's assume that you are just out of uni, 23-year-old, 25-year-old, depending on where you studied. Maybe you have a bachelor's, maybe you have a master's. Well, that's not the real point. You start in big tech with a graduate program of 1 year called a Graduate BDR program, right? So you will be basically a full-time business development representative with a graduate program contract, which typically means, it's a way that big tech uses to hire talent in their early stages, fresh out of uni. If you already have some work experience, you will jump straight into step two that we'll see later. But if you don't have any work experience, well, the graduate program is a great way to start. Your salary, so your OTE salary, on target earnings, which for the course of this video, I will refer as on target earning as the base salary plus the commission plus the bonus, because in tech sales and in sales in general, you always have a base salary plus a commission. So your OTE compensation as a graduate BDR is typically around 50k, slightly higher in the US, but that's pretty much the number. And as a graduate business development representative, what you're doing is the exact job of a normal BDR. So what changes is just your contract. So you are in charge of prospecting, talking to customers, qualifying opportunities, and building sales pipeline. So your job as a graduate BDR won't differ from a normal traditional BDR. So you'll spend most of your day cold calling prospects, sending cold emails to them, connecting with them also on LinkedIn, sending LinkedIn messages with the goal of having a meeting with a prospect. And in that meeting, your goal will be to qualify if there is a business opportunity that you can log on your CRM, Salesforce, HubSpot, whatever your company is using. And this way you are building and qualifying sales pipeline. So your goal and your main KPIs will be your inputs, meaning the amount of calls, the amount of emails, the amount of LinkedIn message that you send, and the amount of outputs that you get, which in this case is build and qualify sales pipeline. It's not closing any kind of deal, but is rather building the sales pipeline, which is essential to any B2B business that you will pass to your account executive or account manager that will take care of the closure, right? So that will be your job as a graduate BDR for your first year. And this is like a 100% foundational year. So step two of the career is what I call the full BDR. So you're not a graduate anymore. You're not in the graduate program anymore. After 1 year, you become a full BDR. And to this step number two, you can also access if you join tech sales and big tech sales, if you already have work experience before, after uni, right? So now you are a full BDR and your OT compensation is typically around 70k per year, base plus commission, and typically is still capped, meaning as a BDR, if you overattain your sales pipeline targets, you are not rewarded more, right? So you will have a goal to achieve that if you go beyond, you don't earn extra money. this is something that will come on the later stage when you are responsible for closing deals. So OTE of 70K, your job does not differ as a graduate BDR. So as a full BDR, you will have more autonomy, bigger targets because the company keeps growing every year. And so the sales goal translates into bigger goals every year, especially every quarter, because as a BDR, typically you work quarter by quarter. So you have a goal for Q1, a goal for Q2, Q3, and Q4. Whereas for other roles like account executive, account managers, you have a quota to achieve for the year. But as a BDR, you're kind of spinning the wheel every single quarter, and this makes you live basically 4 years inside one. So it's a great gym, as a great foundation for your sales career, because you have to show up every single week of the quarter to put in the inputs, build the sales pipeline that then translates into revenue for the company. So let's move on to the next step. After 2 years in the role as BDR, 1 year in graduate BDR and 1 year in full BDR, or if you join as a full BDR, 2 years in full BDR, you can expect a promotion if you have performed well. You will have to fight for that, but you can expect a promotion. And when it comes to promotion, there are many paths that you can follow inside big tech. The main decision that you have to take and think about is either if you want to stay as an individual contributor or become a people's manager. So what do I mean by that? If you want to become a people manager, you basically can become a BDR manager. So a manager for BDR, meaning like you would manage a team of 10 different BDRs. But this is out of the scope of this video because today I want to show you guys the career path that you can reach 200K per year as an individual contributor, because I believe is the fastest way to reach that. So as an individual contributor, the next step is to become an account executive. However, if you become an account executive straight away after 2 years without a level promotion in between, your salary will be affected by that. Because in big tech, basically promotions can be on the same levels. So meaning, for example, you start as an L4 inside a big tech company as a BDR, and then you get promoted to account executive, but you stay L4. So your salary increases, but just by a little bit. If you want to maximize your salary potential, you have to get a level promotion inside your role first and then transition into the new role. So what do I mean by that? After 2 years that you have performed well and consistently achieved your target, you can fight first for a level promotion, meaning you become a senior BDR for a certain period of time. And with a level promotion, your base increases and your total compensation increases because your bonus is calculated on your base. So your base salary and your commission increases, and now your OTE as a senior BDR is typically around 90K per year, which is a pretty good salary. However, after 2 years being a BDR, you will be tired of being a BDR. So you want to move to account executive as fast as possible if you want to stay as an individual contributor. So what I see many people do in big tech is get a level promotion, stay a few months in the role, typically 4 to 5 months as a senior BDR, and as you get a reputation inside a company as a well-experienced BDR that is ready to move to account executive, the transition will be quite natural. And so after 4 to 5 months as a senior BDR, you will be able to move to an account executive position as soon as a role opens up. And typically as you transition from a senior BDR to an account executive position, you already joined as a senior account executive because you already got the level promotion. Just to be clear, as a senior BDR, your role is still the same as a BDR, so nothing changes really, you just get a higher compensation and target. So now let's move on to the fourth step of the career where things really start to get interesting. So now you are 2.5 years in the company, 1 year graduate program, 1 year full BDR, and let's say 4 to 5 months as a senior BDR. Now it's time to become an account executive finally. So now as an account executive, you will be responsible for your own quota, which is your sales target that typically is for the year. So not every quarter, but right now you have sales target for the year, which is revenue based, meaning you are responsible now for bringing revenue to the company. So your main scope is to close the year and make sure that all that pipeline that the BDR creates translates into revenue. And now your compensation becomes very interesting because you can expect an OTE of around 120 and 130K. 120 is a pretty good expectation. And now typically your compensation is uncapped, meaning that if you over attain your quota, you get paid more. But let's always assume that you get 100% attainment and you're not over attaining, because not everyone over attains, and companies make the goals hard to achieve, right? They're not making the goals easy. So let's always assume that you do 100% attainment and you get your full compensation around 120, 130K. So now as an account executive, you want to stay in the role for at least 1 year. I would say it's better 1.5 years to maximize your career ascension and expertise that you gain on the field. So in 1.5 years, you will have the chance to close many deals for the company, show yourself as a top performer to bring revenue to the company, and really be someone that big tech and scale up SaaS companies actually need to translate ideas into revenue. So you become really important. So now you stay 1.5 years on the role and you have 4 years of full work experience in tech sales, 2 years, 2.5 in BDR, and 1.5 as an account executive. So now after almost 3.5 to 4 years of work experience in tech sales, you have to take a big strategic decision, which is either to change company or stay in the same one and grow there. As you can probably imagine, the fastest way to reach 200K salary per year is to change company. So as an account executive with experience as BDR, you will get a lot of inbound offers from other companies, because if you started in big tech, you have a big brand behind your shoulders, and so recruiters will see you as someone that can handle complex and strategic deals with world-class level companies. And so you will start to get a lot of inbound offers. And I would say that after you stayed at least 1 year in your account executive position, you can start evaluating the offers that come to you and start negotiating with a position and leverage of strength, because you already have, a very good job, you're earning very well. If something comes, it must be way better than what you have right now. And I've seen this happen a lot of times. After this 3.5 to 4 year mark, account executives typically get a way better compensation offer from a fast scaling scale up or from another big tech company. And here the OTE compensation is easily around 200K per year. 200K OTE you can expect will be around, 170, 180K base salary plus commission, plus 20K, 30K, 40K, depending on your deal condition in stocks, right? And your OT will be 200K easily at this point. So if you decide to follow path number 2, typically you value more security over salary progression. So, if that's the kind of thing that you are looking for, path number 2 is for you. However, keep in mind that to reach the 200K per year salary mark, it will be much more harder, and you will typically have to wait at least 1.5 to 2 years more and keep still overperforming to make sure you get promoted to the new salary band inside your company, so get another level promotion or move on to the higher band of your current level, which is much harder. So if you want to reach 200K after certain years, you got to move out, change company, and get a best offer. So to recap this video, in the first year of your career, at around 24 to 25 year old, you will start as a graduate BDR with an OTE compensation around 50K. Then you will move on as a full BDR in your second year with a compensation of around 70K. And then after 2 years, you can expect a level promotion if you fight for that and get to a senior BDR position with an OTE target of 90K. After 2.5 years, you will try to move to a senior account executive position inside big tech and get a 120, 130 OTE compensation. Stay 1 year, 1.5 years in the role, and at the 3.5 to 4 year mark of your experience, you will have to take the decision if either to change the company and reach the 200K per year salary much faster, or stay in the same company, grow there for another 1.5 to 5 years, consistently overachieve and reach finally the 200K per year salary mark. So I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of video. If you want more videos about tech sales, let me know in the comments below which kind of content you will be interested into seeing into the channel, and see you into the next video.